What was it like using dial-up internet with Geocities? Imagine sitting in front of your computer, hearing those familiar beeps and static noises as your modem connects to the internet. That was the start of many early online adventures. Using dial-up internet to access Geocities in the 1990s was a slow but exciting process. You had to pick up the phone and dial a number to connect to your internet provider. Once connected, the modem would go through a series of beeps, squeals, and static sounds as it negotiated the connection. These sounds became a kind of soundtrack for early internet use. Connection speeds ranged from 28.8 kilobits per second to 56 kilobits per second. That meant loading a simple web page could take anywhere from a few seconds to several minutes. If the page had many images or animations, it could be a real patience tester. Geocities was one of the first platforms that let everyday people create their own personal websites without needing to know complex coding. It was organized into neighborhoods based on themes, like Silicon Valley for tech fans or Hollywood for movie buffs. Users built pages using basic HTML templates, which meant lots of colorful backgrounds, animated GIFs, flashing text, and background music. Because of the slow speeds, users had to keep their pages lightweight, but many still added lots of images and effects. Loading a page could be a slow process, especially if it had a lot going on. Getting online was often a mix of excitement and frustration. Clicking on a link meant waiting for images and text to load one by one. Sometimes the connection would drop, or the modem would need to retrain if the phone line was noisy. You had to be careful because using the internet meant tying up the home phone line. If someone wanted to make a call, you had to disconnect from the internet first. Uploading or updating your homepage was also a slow task, often taking several minutes to transfer files over the same dial-up connection. Despite these challenges, using Geocities with dial-up was a fun and creative experience. It felt like claiming a small corner of the digital world just for yourself. People shared their hobbies, personal stories, and interests through their homepages. The slow speeds and technical quirks made the process feel more personal and hands-on. It was a time when building a website was a bit of an adventure, and every visit was a small victory. The charm of those noisy, slow connections is what makes the early internet so nostalgic today. In the end, using dial-up internet with Geocities was about patience and discovery. The slow, crackling connection was part of the experience, but it also meant you were part of something new and exciting. It was a time when creating your own space online was a personal project, full of trial and error, but also full of fun. That era of the internet was all about exploration, community, and expressing yourself in a way that today's instant access can't quite match.